They said, be nice to her. They said, just treat her like a queen and she'll stay. They lied. You felt it. The gut-wrenching silence after double texting her. The cold reply after you poured your heart out. That ache in your chest when you gave her everything and she still walked away. You're not alone. Every man has been there, chasing, hoping, praying she'd see your worth. But let me ask you this. If you were the prize, would you need to chase? You're about to find out why everything they taught you about women, relationships, and being the good guy was designed to keep you weak. This isn't a feel-good pep talk. This is a brutal, unfiltered truth session, the kind of truth that'll make you wake up. You're going to learn why ignoring women isn't a trick. It's not a pickup strategy. It's a life philosophy. A man who ignores isn't being rude. He's being powerful. Because ignoring her isn't about her. It's about reclaiming yourself. You're about to discover the rarest kind of power a man can possess. Emotional control. And when you have that, they chase, they beg, they test, and break. But only if you master this truth. So if you're tired of being ghosted, rejected, used, overlooked, or played, listen closely, because today your story changes. Comment, control, can freedom if you're ready to reclaim your power and never beg for love again. Men today are under attack. You were raised to serve her, taught that your value is in how much attention, effort, money, and time you give away. Told to be soft, to be available, to be open with your emotions. And what did you get in return? Silence, confusion, rejection, being the nice guy she kept as a backup while chasing someone who barely texted her back. It's not your fault. You were lied to, programmed, but you can't afford to stay asleep any longer. Every day you keep giving your power away to someone who doesn't respect it. You die a little inside. This isn't just about women. This is about your life. You chase her and you lose your mission. You prioritize her mood and your confidence fades. You center your day around her validation and you forget who you are. Modern relationships are rigged. Not because women are evil, but because men stopped leading, and every man who forgets that suffers. This is not about hate. This is about truth. And the truth is, if she feels you need her, she loses respect. Not because she's cruel, because she's wired that way. You're about to understand why ignoring works. Not to play games, not to be cold, but to take back what should have never been given away, your presence. And right now, there's one thing that will put everything into place faster than anything else you've ever seen. The Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men. It's powerful, it's raw, it's made for you. Every truth you've never been told, every tool you were never given, every strategy you need, not just to date better, but to live stronger. It's built to make you sharper, to make you emotionally untouchable, to make you the man that women don't walk away from, they fight to keep, and it's finally available. But not for long. This knowledge isn't meant to be passed around endlessly. This is rare knowledge, and it's available to the public right now. Only the few will act. Only the ready will transform. And when you read it, it'll feel like the voice in your head finally has a manual. This video is the doorway. That book? It's the full weapon. Now let's begin where it all starts. Desire. Number 1. Women want what they can't have. She wants what she can't hold, what she can't fully predict, what she can't tame. The second she feels like she has you figured out, your value begins to drop. Not in some abstract way, but deep within her instincts, within her biology, something switches off, and you can feel it. You can sense the way her eyes start to wander when you show up too quickly, too often, too eagerly. You can feel how the warmth in her texts fade when you answer every message before she even locks her screen. She doesn't need to consciously know why. She just knows. You've become predictable, easy, done, and done is boring. You think the right response is to reassure her, to prove your worth with even more energy, more praise, more effort. But that just makes it worse. You're not showing love. You're revealing a desperate fear of loss. You're telling her, without saying a word, that she's more important than your peace, more important than your growth, more important than your identity. And the moment she feels that, she loses something sacred: curiosity. Curiosity is the engine of attraction. When she can't quite read your mind, when she doesn't know exactly what you're thinking, when she wonders if she's still in your favor, her desire for you spikes. Because women aren't drawn to certainty, they're drawn to challenge. They chase what's not easily caught, what might escape them, what feels like it could slip through their fingers unless they earn it, not beg for it, but become worthy of it. But when a man makes himself too available, too emotionally exposed, too hungry for her approval, he doesn't feel like a reward. He feels like an option, and options are replaceable. If you want to know what keeps her up at night thinking about you, it's not the good morning texts or the compliments or the favors. It's the distance, the space you create when you're not rushing in to make her feel safe. It's the pause between her texts when you don't answer right away, not out of spite, but because you've got a life. It's the mystery she feels when she can't quite tell if you miss her, and that makes her miss you more. You don't need to manipulate her. You need to become so valuable, so driven, so focused, that your time becomes a gift, that your presence is a reward, that your energy is rare. She wants the man who walks with purpose, who doesn't bend, who doesn't flinch, the man who looks her in the eye and doesn't need her to stay to feel worthy. That man, he doesn't explain himself. He doesn't try to prove he's different. He doesn't beg her to understand. He simply is. And in that still, confident, unshakable energy, she finds herself drawn in without knowing why. She starts questioning herself, her worth, her value to you. Not because you made her insecure, but because she recognizes deep in her bones that you don't need her. And that scares her, that excites her, that makes her want to matter to you. And if she wants to matter, she starts investing. And if she invests, she starts chasing, not in desperation, but in attraction, real, primal attraction, the kind that doesn't care how many followers you have or what your job title is, the kind that runs deeper than logic. So become hard to reach, not by acting, but by being consumed with a life that fulfills you. Go build a body you respect. Start writing down your goals and hitting them. Learn something difficult and master it. Wake up earlier than her. Train harder than her. Think deeper than her. Live more than her. Not to impress her, but to forget her. And in that forgetting, you become unforgettable, because she doesn't want the man who drops everything for her. She wants the man she has to work to keep up with, the one who doesn't text back because he's in the gym, the one who's not available tonight because he's building his empire, the one who doesn't ask where she went because he's already gone. And if she earns her way back in, maybe, just maybe, you let her stay. Not because she's beautiful, but because she brought something rare: peace, respect, devotion. Until then, you remain untouchable, not out of pride, but because you finally remember who you are. Number 2, attention is her currency. Attention is not free. Every second you give it, you are handing her a piece of your value. Every message you send when she hasn't earned it, every emoji, every late-night reply, every little moment of your day you give to her costs you something, and it fills her, not with love, but with power. Because for her, attention is status. It's oxygen. It's confirmation that you're still orbiting her, even when she's no longer facing your way. She doesn't even need to respond. She just needs to know you're watching, that she still has you, that no matter how far she pulls away, you're still standing there, waiting, loyal, soft, harmless. You think that by being consistent, responsive, emotionally available, you're showing maturity, but all she sees is another man offering free energy without demand, another man putting himself beneath her, and what is abundant quickly becomes invisible. You want to know why she posts thirst traps after a dry conversation, why she uploads selfies after ghosting your text, why she watches your story but doesn't answer your messages. Because she's not trying to connect, she's trying to collect. She's topping off her ego tank with your attention. It doesn't cost her anything to do it, but it costs you your focus, your frame, your respect. While you sit there thinking she's still interested, she's swiping through her options, scrolling through compliments, and reinforcing the idea that you'll always be there. And every time you engage, you tell her she's right. Every time you comment hot or stunning under her post, you're adding value to her economy while withdrawing from your own. Every time you chase, she leans back, because she knows you will never run out of energy for her, and that makes you safe. And safety is not sexy. Men weren't made to give energy away without reason. Your attention is supposed to be rare, selective, earned. But most men give it away like it's endless, because deep down, they're hoping to get something back. Love, sex, connection, validation, and women can smell it. She can read your energy in the first few texts. She knows if you're hungry for her reaction. She knows if you're trying to impress. She knows if your self-worth is tied to her engagement. And the moment she feels it, she shifts. She may not block you. She may not ghost you, but she stops trying. She knows you'll keep giving, and that means she doesn't have to. You want her attention? Withdraw yours. You want her investment? Pull back yours. You want her to chase? Become scarce. Stop giving out your value like it means nothing, because the men she remembers are the ones who didn't look twice, the ones who didn't flinch, the ones who weren't afraid to walk away. You've got to become that man, not to hurt her, not to punish her, but to protect yourself. Because your time is expensive, your energy is sacred, and your presence is not a gift you just hand out because she's pretty. Start treating your attention like gold. Audit every message. Before you send it, ask, has she earned this? Before you watch her story, ask, what do I gain from this? Before you double text, ask, what standard am I reinforcing? You don't have to be rude, you have to be wise, because you can be emotionally intelligent without being emotionally wasteful. You can care without chasing. You can love without losing yourself. Build a life so full, so rich, so powerful that your attention becomes the rarest thing she can get. Let her feel the weight of your absence. Let her wonder why you haven't replied. Let her question why you stopped showing up. Because in that silence, she feels your strength. In that stillness, she feels your presence. And if she values you, she'll act. If not, she'll fade. And either way, you win. The men who win long-term are not the ones who chase. They are the ones who create gravity, who make her feel like she's in orbit of something bigger than herself. That's what makes her curious. That's what makes her chase. And that's what makes her stay. So withdraw, refocus, reclaim. Your attention is the throne. Sit on it like a king, and only rise for a queen. Number 3. Why needy men repel women. Neediness is not a behavior. It's a smell, and women can detect it the moment you step into their world, the moment you enter a conversation, even before you speak. It's in your eyes, it's in your posture, in your pacing, in your responses. in how you frame your sentences and how quickly you try to impress, how desperately you want to be liked, how fast you agree with everything she says, how you're always available, always giving, always reaching, always offering something she didn't ask for, because deep down you believe she's better than you, and you hope that if you just do enough, say enough, buy enough, sacrifice enough, maybe, just maybe, she'll see you as worthy and choose to stay. But she won't, she can't, because the moment a woman sees you pedestal her, she understands that you see her as the prize and yourself as the beggar, and no woman can love a man she pities. She can't feel desire for someone whose energy screams dependence, whose self-worth is chained to her approval, who looks at her not as a companion, but as a solution. And when a man lives in that emotional position, every move he makes, whether he knows it or not, communicates weakness. It screams to her that he has no inner world, no gravity, no edge, no direction beyond her validation, and it is repelling on a level that goes beyond words, beyond logic, because she feels it before she thinks it. And what she feels is this: you need her more than she needs you. And that is the death of desire, because desire cannot survive when one is starving and the other is full. It can't survive when one is drowning in attention and the other is dry of it. And so she retreats, she flinches, she tests. Not to be cruel, but because her biology is wired to reject weakness. Her instincts are wired to pull her towards strength, toward confidence, toward stability. And when you offer her the opposite, when you become emotionally volatile, too eager, too fast, too nice, too available, too impressed, too expressive, with a woman who has not yet earned the depth of your energy, you strip away any chance of being perceived as a man worth chasing, and instead become the man she keeps around for attention, or worse, the man she uses as a safety net, when the man she really desires is busy being everything you're not: detached, focused, indifferent, grounded. And it hurts, it stings, it cuts because you think you're doing the right thing. You were told to be romantic, to be kind, to be vulnerable, to pour it all out. But nobody told you that until a woman earns the right to witness your softness. Your love is weightless, and weightless love is invisible. And when you make her the center of your life before she's even committed to you, when you give her boyfriend energy while she still treats you like a fan, you kill any chance she has to respect you, because women don't fall in love with love itself. They fall in love with the man behind it. And if that man doesn't lead, doesn't hold the frame, doesn't stand tall in his own solitude, then no amount of affection will keep her interest. And so you try harder, and the harder you try, the colder she becomes. Because neediness is a signal, a broadcast that you have nothing better to do, no mission to live, no vision to pursue, and it is a magnet that repels. Not because she's cruel, but because your need reveals the absence of purpose. And when a woman senses that your whole identity revolves around winning her, she runs, because she knows she was never meant to be your purpose. She was meant to be your reward, and rewards are not chased. They are attracted through power, through clarity, through presence, through having a life so full that she feels blessed to be invited in, not entitled to be there. And when you finally understand this, when it finally breaks through that your worth is not measured by her reaction, but by your own standard, you stop chasing, you stop overgiving, you stop trying to convince her to choose you, because a man who knows who he is doesn't convince. He simply exists, and those who recognize his value will make themselves known, and those who don't will drift away. And either way, he remains unbothered, not because he's heartless, but because he's whole. Number 4. Detachment equals power. Detachment is not indifference, it is control, it is power, it is the quiet and calm decision to own your reactions, to move on your time, to refuse to be pulled like a puppet by the approval or disapproval of another. And this is what separates the man who leads from the man who pleads, the man who walks with purpose from the man who stumbles behind affection, Because the detached man is not emotionless, he is not numb, he is not cold, he feels everything. He simply chooses what gets a response. And this is the kind of power that drives her mad, that keeps her awake, that makes her check her phone hoping your name appears. Because when a woman cannot control you, when she cannot predict you, when she cannot decide how you feel by what she does, you become rare, and rarity is irresistible. And the reason most men fail is because they think showing they care means making themselves small, that to express value is to over-explain, to reassure, to constantly accommodate, to constantly give, to be emotionally available like an open book with no secrets, no chapters left unread. And in doing that, they destroy the very mystery that fuels her desire. They destroy the distance that allows her attraction to grow, and so she feels everything too quickly. She gets what she didn't have to earn. She sees a man who needs her to feel seen, and her instincts withdraw. They pull her back, because no woman can feel safe, truly safe, in the arms of a man who has no control over himself, no sense of inner strength, no foundation beyond her reaction. And that's why detachment is everything, not as a tactic, but as a way of life, as a standard, as a code. Because when you live detached, when you wake up for your purpose, when you invest in your craft, when your joy is not contingent on her message or her tone or her affection, she senses something in you that few men possess: solidity, stability, and self-trust. And that right there is the foundation of attraction, because women are drawn not to the man who makes her the center, but to the man who is already the center of his own world, the man who chooses with intention, who walks away with peace, who doesn't need closure, who doesn't argue to be understood, because his energy is his own, his emotions belong to him. And when you become that man, everything changes. You no longer try to prove anything. You no longer chase responses. You no longer validate behavior that disrespects your standard. You simply adjust your access. You redirect your attention. You move your focus back to your mission, your vision, your path. And that's when she notices the difference. That's when she feels the shift. Not because you blocked her, not because you cursed her out, but because you didn't respond at all, because you left without announcement, because you disappeared into your work, into your peace, into your growth. And suddenly, you're not the man who's waiting. You're the man she waits for, and she might not understand why, but she'll feel it. She'll sense it in your presence, in the way you don't chase, in the way you're calm when she tries to provoke, in the way you smile when she tests you, because deep down she wants to know, will you break? Will you fold? Will you crumble when she pulls away? And when you don't, when you remain still, unshaken, focused, she sees you, truly sees you, not as an option, not as a fan, but as a man. And that is when the dynamic flips. That is when the interest ignites, not in her head, but in her body, in her emotions, in her craving for your attention again, because you gave her the most intoxicating experience of all. Distance, and distance mixed with value, is the foundation of obsession, but only when it's earned, only when it comes from truth. And the truth is that most men can't handle detachment because they don't know who they are without the chase, without the drama, without the validation. They need her to feel important, they need her to feel masculine, and so they give her power and then resent her for using it. But you won't be that man, not after this, not after understanding the law of detachment, which is simple. What walks away without you was never yours to begin with, and anything worth having does not need to be begged for, because the man who knows his worth doesn't beg, doesn't flinch, doesn't debate what he sees clearly. He walks, not to punish, but to protect his peace. And that peace is what makes him dangerous. Because the moment you no longer fear losing her, she fears losing you. Not because you played her, but because you mastered you, and in mastering yourself, you become untouchable. Number 5. how to actually ignore her. To truly ignore her is not to vanish into thin air or play childish games of who texts who first. It is to reach such a level of emotional strength and internal certainty that her presence, or lack of it, has no influence on your direction, no power over your mood, no control over your day. Because ignoring isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about no longer being addicted to her reaction, about detaching your value from her interest. And to do that, you must become consumed by purpose so thoroughly that her behavior becomes background noise in the orchestra of your life. And the truth is, most men fail not because they're weak physically, but because they never trained their minds to be unavailable to emotional manipulation. They never mastered the pause. They never learned to sit with discomfort without rushing to fix it, without reaching to reassure her, without trying to soften the tension when she pulls back or tests or withdraws her warmth for no reason at all other than to see if you'll chase. And when you chase, she sees exactly what she wanted to see, that you are still orbiting her, still seeking her approval, still anchoring your worth in her response. And that is when you lose her respect, because women don't fall for men they can emotionally control. They fall for men they must reach for, and you can't make her reach if you're always within reach, if you're always texting first, if you're always asking if she's okay, if you're always posting stories. You know she'll watch hoping for a reaction. That is not masculine, that is not strength, that is not power. It is dependence dressed up as romance, and it kills attraction faster than any mistake you could make. So how do you ignore her properly? You stop feeding the fire, you stop reacting, you stop being so predictable, you stop being so emotionally invested in someone who hasn't shown she deserves it. You go to the gym without posting it. You focus on your business, your projects, your education. You improve your skills in silence. You let your life get louder without announcing it. And if she texts, good. Respond like a man with options, with priorities. Not instantly, not coldly, but from a place of calm clarity. And if she doesn't text, even better, because now you get to prove to yourself that you don't need her to feel whole, that your world doesn't collapse because someone chose not to call, because someone didn't see your value. And if that's her view, then her exit is a blessing, not a tragedy. And this mindset, this strength, this refusal to chase what refuses to serve your growth, that's what makes you magnetic. Because when you stop seeking her and start seeking you, everything changes. Your eyes change, your tone changes, your walk changes, your boundaries become firm, your energy becomes selective, and women feel it. Not because you told them, but because your presence says everything your mouth doesn't have to. It says, I'm not here to be chosen, I'm here to choose. And when you move like that, they follow. Because now you are different from the hundreds of men bending over backwards for a shot at attention. Now you are scarce, and scarcity creates value. But that value only exists if it's real, if it's earned, if it comes from the deepest part of you that refuses to be moved by validation. And that's how you ignore her, not to punish her, but to protect your peace, not to manipulate her, but to master yourself. Because the real power lies not in how quickly you can make her text you again, but in how deeply you can live without needing her to. Number 6. You're the prize, not her. You were not born to orbit a woman's life. You were not created to decorate her world, to play the background character in the movie of her self-importance while she decides whether you're good enough for a role in her fleeting attention span. No, you are the prize, the center, the foundation, and the longer you walk this earth believing that her beauty makes her the reward, the longer you will suffer, because men who forget their value will spend their lives trying to buy what should be freely offered to them. And this belief, this quiet lie that you have to prove yourself to be chosen, will eat you from the inside out. It will show in how you speak, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you enter rooms looking for approval instead of knowing you belong. And you need to understand now, without delay, that a woman's looks are not her value. Her presence is not a privilege, and your time is not cheap. Your energy is not disposable, and your love is not a discount store giveaway. It is sacred. It is reserved for those who demonstrate loyalty, peace, femininity, and grace. And the truth is, most women today are not used to earning anything. They are used to being worshipped just for showing up. They are used to men folding the moment they smile, to men chasing them at the first sign of attention. And because of this, they have no frame of reference for a man who stands tall, who demands standards, who evaluates instead of begging, who looks at her like a human being, not a goddess. And that is what makes you different. That is what makes you powerful. Not your looks, not your money, not your muscles, but the fact that you know who you are and you don't bend to her energy. And if she wants to be in your life, she has to meet you at your level. She has to bring more than her appearance, because you've already seen behind the curtain. You've seen what happens when you place her on a pedestal, how fast she looks down on you, how quickly she loses interest, how soon she finds excuses to leave, because you made her your everything before she earned anything. And now you move differently. Now you live with discernment, with standards, with expectations, not because you're bitter, but because you're aware. Because you've tasted what happens when you give too much to the wrong woman, and you'll never let that happen again. Because the prize does not beg, the prize does not chase, the prize does not compete for attention. It stands firm, it is admired, it is sought after, it is respected, and you will never again confuse being chosen with being valuable, because the truth is, your value exists before she ever validates it. And once you understand this, once you truly believe that you are the prize, everything changes. Your conversations become sharper, your boundaries become stronger, your goals become clearer, and your presence becomes undeniable, not because you said anything different, but because you feel different. And she feels it too. She senses that you are no longer the boy who needed her to stay, but the man who knows she is replaceable if she cannot add value, if she cannot bring softness to your world, if she cannot nurture your peace instead of threaten it. And the beauty of this truth is that it doesn't make you cruel, it makes you free, because now you are no longer held hostage by rejection. You are no longer addicted to approval, and whether she texts back or disappears, whether she plays games or stays consistent, your value doesn't move because it was never based on her. It was based on who you are, who you're becoming, and who you refuse to ever stop being again. Number 7. Her tests are loyalty checks. She will test you, and if you don't understand why, if you don't see through the games, if you don't recognize the pattern beneath her words and actions, you'll fall every time. You'll argue, you'll explain, you'll get emotional, you'll try to make her feel better, and in doing so, you'll fail the very test she needed you to pass without ever knowing it was a test at all. Because women don't test your answers. They test your frame. They test your emotional strength, your consistency, your ability to remain grounded when things aren't going your way. And they do it not because they hate you, but because they don't trust you yet. Because trust is not built when things are easy. Trust is built when the moment becomes messy, when she throws the hook and you don't bite, when she pulls away just to see if you'll chase, when she says something sharp to see if you'll snap back or stay calm. Because deep inside every woman there is a craving for a man who can hold his power, no matter how much pressure she applies, and she will apply it. She will do it subtly or directly, with her tone, with her attention, with her disappearance, with her criticisms dressed up as jokes, with her praise immediately followed by withdrawal. And if you're not grounded in yourself, if you still need her to validate your worth, you will try to fix what was never broken. You will adjust yourself just to be liked. You will compromise your edge just to keep her near. And that is when she loses what little respect she had left, because the test was never about the surface. It was never about what she said. It was about what your reaction says about you, about how quickly you lose your clarity when things get uncomfortable, and when you pass the test, when you don't react, when you don't chase, when you don't beg. She leans in deeper, not because she planned to, but because her nature is wired to trust strength, not noise. And that strength is shown not in what you say, but in what you refuse to respond to, in how you maintain your pace, your tone, your mission, regardless of her fluctuations. And this is where boys get filtered out. This is where most men crumble, because they still think love is about pleasing her, when it's really about remaining solid no matter how much she tries to bend you. Because only in that solidity can she feel safe. Only in that clarity can she rest. Rest. And if you fail, she'll never tell you directly. She'll just stop trying. She'll pull away more and more until you become the one asking what happened. But nothing happened. You just didn't pass the test. Number 8. Master the energy shift. Everything between a man and a woman comes down to energy. Who leads it, who controls it, who bends for it. And when you are unaware of this, you will always be at the mercy of her emotional rhythm, pulled left and right by her changing moods, trying to fix things she hasn't even explained, apologizing for things you didn't do. And this is the root of weakness. Not because you care, but because you lost the frame, because you gave her the emotional steering wheel, and now you're wondering why you feel so exhausted, so drained, so disconnected from your core. But the man who understands energy understands something else. That attention is not power unless it's withheld. That interest is not valuable unless it's redirected. And that the most attractive quality a man can possess is not money or height or status. It is detachment from chaos. The ability to remain still when she moves. To remain calm when she escalates. To remain solid when she's looking for cracks. Because when a woman feels that she cannot move you emotionally unless you allow it, she feels something few men ever make her feel: respect. And when you shift the energy, when you stop being the one to call first, when you stop sending long paragraphs to explain your value, when you stop jumping every time she pulls back, when you stop trying to match her speed and instead set the pace, everything changes. Because now she's the one looking for cues. Now she's the one asking questions. Now she's the one wondering where she stands with you. And that is the shift, the invisible transfer of emotional weight that flips the dynamic from chasing to choosing. And the only way to earn it is to stop living for her reactions, to stop calculating how to please her, to stop walking on eggshells to avoid her withdrawal. Because every time you overinvest, every time you overreact, you give her power. And every time you pull back, every time you respond less, every time you live more, you take it back. Not by force, not by manipulation, but by removing the one thing that fuels her control: your obsession. And once you kill that obsession, once you start moving like a man who would rather lose her than lose himself, once your daily emotions are based on your goals, your work, your standards, and not on a woman's behavior, that's when the gravity flips. That's when she leans in, not because you did anything different, but because your energy speaks before you do. And what it says is clear. I do not chase, I attract. I do not react, I decide. I do not need, I choose. And when you live by that, when you become that, no woman can ever take the lead again unless you allow it. If you're tired of being the man who gives everything and gets nothing, if you're done being disposable, replaceable, invisible to the very women you used to chase, then it's time to stop begging for validation and start reclaiming your position as the prize. And the truth is, no one's coming to save you. No woman will hand you back your power. You have to take it by changing the way you think, the way you lead, the way you choose who enters your life. And that's why the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men exists. It's a weapon, it's a revelation, it's the exact roadmap you were never meant to find, and it's linked right now in the comments below. But it won't stay public for long, because the kind of truth packed inside is dangerous to the systems that keep men weak. So if you feel something inside you stirring, if your conscience is screaming, "This is the shift I need," then comment the Stoic blueprint right now below this video and grab it before it disappears. Like this video to help other men who are drowning in lies wake up, and subscribe to make sure you're not walking alone anymore. Because every time one of us rises, another one finds the courage to stop living a lie and finally start leading like he was born to.